So you're wanting to move to Charlottesville and you're ready to go. Got your bags packed, got your job offer, everything is rocking and rolling. But then you look and you find me and you're like, I'm talking about Greene County and Waynesboro and Scottsville. And you're like, no, I want Charlottesville. I hear you and I get that. So this is something I actually go over with all of my clients when they come in for the first time to meet me. So I thought, well, I'm just going to make a video about it, because that way when you're following along and watching my other videos, hit subscribe, you'll know where I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Charlottesville Metropolitan Area and the Charlottesville Central Virginia area. So come on, let's go. So diving right in, Charlottesville. Well, duh, living in Charlottesville, you want to move to Charlottesville. So what's the problem, Pam? There's no problem. But what I want to tell you is Charlottesville itself is very, very tiny, like 4,700 people, not really big. But when you hear Charlottesville, it actually is reflective of, and I have to do this, the Charlottesville Metropolitan Area. Nobody in town says the Charlottesville Metropolitan Area, so don't think that that is an actual term. But if you want to see and look and hear, that's what we're talking about. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually share my screen with you, because I want you to see an overview. Let's start with overview first. Very simple, right? Very simple. This is the great Commonwealth of Virginia. You know it's on the East Coast. Obviously, well, I would hope you know it's on the East Coast. But if not, congratulations, now you know for sure. We are nestled, so North Carolina to our south. We are obviously butted up right against the Atlantic Ocean. Delaware is hanging out, Maryland, Washington, D.C., nation's capital. Notice where that is, because we're seeing more and more Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area bedroom communities coming farther and farther. That is not that far. So that's why I want to point this out. Then, of course, we have Maryland, West Virginia, and such along that line. From that line, the first and foremost place is obviously Charlottesville. Let me share that back so you can see it. The state of Virginia, and you'll notice Charlottesville's marked right in the center. That is why it's called Central Virginia. Okay, makes sense. We are centrally located in general. Southwest corridor going on over here, and it is a very different area than Central Virginia. But again, this is why it's called Central Virginia. Now, what I want to do is I want to go a little bit closer for you. Now, before I do that, please let me know if you ever have any questions. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. All of my information is available. It is me. I am here. I am local. I have grown up in this area and I serve, and this is my job. So this is fun and fabulous to me. I am not the Chamber of Commerce. I do not work with rentals. I will happily assist with rentals however I can. It's just set up so that it is meant for you to deal directly with the rental folks. Anyways, back to where we were going. So the first one is obviously, all right, so this is coming, I just got this from Wikimedia, so you can pull it up and see it for yourself. But I wanted to pull this up with the names so that you can see, because honestly, we're just going to go right around Red Robin. So number 4 right here, you're going to see right here, okay? That is where number 4 is, you can see it up here. Number 4, Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville, Virginia is a city, and the Albemarle County area around it is also considered Charlottesville. I live in Charlottesville, but my physical address, and I pay taxes to Albemarle County. But when you write to me, you're going to be addressing the envelope to Pam Worley in Charlottesville, Virginia. So Albemarle County surrounds the city of Charlottesville. Obviously, the city of Charlottesville is very much urban, suburban. It's an urban suburban environment. It is not an urban environment like New York or DC or Richmond. Obviously not. There are not that many people, and the mixture of people is also fluid because of the University of Virginia. The University of Virginia has 20,000. So instantly the city of Charlottesville will go from, say 40,000 to 60,000 when students are in town, kind of thing. But those who live in the city of Charlottesville, it's just not that big. Surrounded is Albemarle County. Albemarle County, very matter of fact, the Bodo's donut or the Bodo's bagel around the whole of Charlottesville, Virginia. Albemarle County is going to be more of a mixture. So we're going to have urban. We're going to have predominantly suburban. And there's still going to be a chunk, I would say, I don't know. I would almost say urban is going to be, 25%. Suburban's going to be 50%. And then rural is going to be the final 25%. So there's still because it's a large, Albemarle County is over 726 square miles. So it's a very, very large area. You can see it's one of the largest counties around. Inside Albemarle County, you're going to hear about places such as Crozet, Scottsville. You're going to hear about Pantops. You're going to hear about Hydraulic, 29 North. You're going to hear about lots of different areas. Those are all going to be falling into the Albemarle County area. And Albemarle County with City of Charlottesville is going to give you that Charlottesville Metropolitan. So then going in here a little bit more, I'm just going to start at the top, at the north end, and we're just going to round robin around. Because again, this is just what I do with my clients when we're getting ready to jump in my car and go see some of the areas, because everyone has its own little different feelings and intricacies. So as you are then, because of course you're going to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content, then you're going to know if I come out with content such as, Nelson County, and you're like, yeah, so not moving to Nelson County, then you know. Okay, so this is what that's going to do for you today. So first one up right here is Greene County. Greene County is just to our north, straight up 29 North. It is a lot of folks. So right at the top of Albemarle County on the 29 North corridor is actually where Rivanna Station, our military base, is located. So that's going to be right up at the tip. Right past that is actually where the county of Greene kicks in. So many people who are PCSing to Rivanna Station to Charlottesville, they actually prefer to live in Greene because commuter-wise, it's much shorter. Cost of living-wise, housing is much more affordable, and it also has more. So when you get into Greene County, there's gonna be a couple little pockets going to be suburban or rural. It's not really going to have anywhere that I would consider urban environment. There are going to be a couple of pockets, like I said, that are going to be suburban. Lots and lots of neighborhoods, and I actually have a video about the neighborhoods of Greene County, the 5 hidden gems, because that's how Greene County is set up. It's a much smaller county, so many people don't know these fabulous little nooks and cranny neighborhoods. So Greene County, more rural. It is an opening to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 33 runs right through it. So if you are into views, the mountains, hiking, fishing, and all that, that area might be really, really good for you. Okay, so coming up, what's next? Next up, let's go back to our little screen share and look at the map, because like I said, we're just going to go right around Red Robin. Once we did Greene County, I will mention, notice Madison, you can see how small Greene is. Madison is just right on the other side of that. So I actually work with a lot of folks who end up in Madison. I'm going to say Madison is going to be about 80% rural, Still a lot of very large farms, more dairy and agricultural farm, not necessarily horse farm, but more on leans that way. But there are certain neighborhoods, certain areas, but again, much larger and more spread out. Coming down right along the side right here, you're going to see Orange. Orange has a huge historic. It's also what I would say is, hold on. So Orange County is going to be that little bitty nook. And when you look at it, please note the reason, what a lot of people don't recognize, Orange County starts getting into being a gateway, a bedroom community for Northern Virginia. What does that mean, Pam? It means prices are going to start going up. It means people who live and work in the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, very condensed urban area, actually live, and you'll find people living in the Orange County area. If it's closer to Albemarle, not so much, but the farther you go, it is also where you're going to start seeing you're going to still see a lot of farms, but more, I would actually consider this horsey country. So we still see a lot of horse farms out this area, whether it's for breeding, showing. Obviously, the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, has a huge connection with horses, thoroughbreds, racing. It's a major funding producer for the Commonwealth of Virginia. So Orange County is that little itty bitty gateway, and then notice it poofs up almost like a funnel into the Northern Virginia area. Louisa. All right, so now again, Albemarle, our little polka dot Charlottesville, coming straight over is Louisa. Now here's what I really want to show you also. Louisa is considered one of the hot growth spots in the entire state of Virginia. And here's why. You can absolutely see it is halfway to Charlottesville and then halfway down into Richmond. All right, so that is why. If there are two significant breadwinners in the household, and one works in Charlottesville and one works in Richmond, then they can both live in a very lovely area. Check out Spring Creek neighborhood. We did tours of several new construction. That'll give you an idea. Spring Creek is a large subdivision, master plan community right there in Louisa. But again, Louisa is probably more of I'm going to go more 60-40. I would say 40% suburban and 60% rural. So still a lot of large farms, still a lot of large areas. That's why many people do love it, because you can still get property there and have more than a 0.1/10 of an acre. And so that can be found in Louisa. Fluvanna, you've probably heard me talk about, because Fluvanna is part of, Palmyra is part of Fluvanna. Coming over to the east, you have Louisa, and then if you drop down, it's Fluvanna. So the main thoroughfare for both of those is going to be that 250, 64. And if you drop into the Fluvanna area, the number one place that people ask me about, and I have videos, check out the videos, Lake Monticello. It is a rare, because again, we don't have a ton of gated communities, but it is a established neighborhood in a gated community. It surrounds a large man-made lake that's filled with natural springs, like over 100 natural springs. Beautiful area. My husband and I owned our second home out there, so it can be considered much more affordable. When you get into Fluvanna is also growing pretty rapidly. I'm going to say, because again, taxes, cost of living, and housing costs all dictate. Fluvanna, I would say, is probably also coming in at about I'm going to say a 45, 65, because recently, due to growth, it has really expanded. So I'm 45% suburban and 55% rural. So still a ton of green space, still lots of opportunities to get much larger plots. You're not in the middle of nowhere. You can be in the middle of nowhere if that's what you want. But again, why you need to reach out to me so that we know. Again, within 5 questions, I'm probably going to be able to take you from moving to the Commonwealth, to moving to X county, to moving to X neighborhood, to moving to X street, quite honestly. It's just going to be dependent. That's why you got to reach out to me. So going back, we have, all right, so there we go. So Louisa, Fluvanna, that swings down into Buckingham. Buckingham, again, you'll notice it just tippy-toes right on Albemarle County. The other thing it does, it is very, very rural. There's a high schlep factor there because, again, you're not just going to be able to run out and grab a gallon of milk or, say, a dozen eggs so this gives you a closer idea of it as well. So Fluvanna into Buckingham. Buckingham is a very large county. It is also a very rural county. I would say the past several houses that I've helped clients with buying or selling, there's been everything from a lovely $1 million, beautiful overlooking a lake estate that was on 2 acres, all the way down to it was 2001 double wide trailer on a permanent foundation that was like in the low 200s, like it was like 201, I think, or something like that. But it was on 3 acres. So again, if that's what is of interest to you, you don't want to be around people. Again, not my judgment. I am not judging you. I understand that. Some days more than other. I don't want to be around people either. Buckingham might be it. But for example, if you need access, if you're going to be daily going into Charlottesville for, say, medical appointments or for your job or something like that, you just need to recognize that it's going to be a 45-minute to an hour commute one way because it's very limited. One way in, well, no, it's like 3 ways in and 3 ways out, but almost like a triangle. So it's, it's like one way this way, one way this way, one way that way kind of thing. So it's very, very rural. Swinging up from that, you can see Nelson County is right here. Nelson County, a big connection with Albemarle County. It butts right up. I'm getting ready to go out and actually do a video because someone had asked me a question about Nelson County, and I've done like maybe one video, but I wanted to talk about the different areas, the different neighborhoods of Nelson County. Nelson County, you're probably again looking at like a 30-70 split. So a 30 suburban-ish, neighborhood-esque, resorts-esque. Wintergreen is there. There's several tourism. There's the Route 151 and all that. Still going to be predominantly a rural environment. So again, stunning views, fabulous area. If this is a great area for fly fishing and horseback riding, and so if those are your things, then Nelson County might be a good hookup for you. Coming up, you're going to see. Now we're actually going to go. So Albemarle, here's our Buckingham. We swung up to Nelson. Nelson County, right here, going to be our southwest cousin. But where it butts up to is actually Augusta. Augusta County is actually officially over the mountain. So Albemarle County pushes all the way to Afton, and Nelson pushes to Afton Mountain. And then as you're going over that, you're going into Augusta County. Augusta County, we've seen a huge influx because of housing prices. I just closed with one of my clients on a really super cute 1920s house, and it was on corner lot, and it was over a 1/4 of an acre. So, you're not handing sugar from window to window, but you have space to garden and you have space to have your white picket, whatever it is, whatever you want to do, that's where it is. And she's actually in love, absolutely in love. She moved from the very rural area of Scottsville. So that was a transition for her, and she is so, so happy. But over in the Augusta County, you have So Albemarle County, going over, you're going to be, Waynesboro is a city seed center. And then you also have Stanton, not Staunton, Stanton and Waynesboro. Yes, I do help people all the way over. So I get questions a lot. Well, Pam, can you help me buy in my up in Northern Virginia? No, I mean, I can officially. Yes, I can help you. But my area of expertise is what you're seeing here. I want to make sure you're taken care of. So when you reach out to me and we're talking about where you're looking at and moving and living, that's why I'm asking you questions. And on that note, I actually don't work with rentals. I am happy to give you feedback and do everything possible to help you with rentals. But again, they're just set up to be very open and transparent. I have access to a couple things. So if you're coming against a brick wall, I would encourage you to reach out to me. Or if you're like, well, Pam, what about A versus B? I'm happy to give you my opinion. And I would probably say, well, if it was me, I would choose B and then A. And here's why. B, it seems like a concrete jungle. It's located in the middle of a very urban area. And A is in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. And so I want to be able to run and get a gallon of milk to be, 5 minutes away as opposed to 50 minutes away. So on that note, this is why I want you to reach out to me. If you're looking at an area, if I do not service it, if I am not an expert in that area, then I can happily connect you with somebody who is, that I would entrust any of my family, friends, clients to. But if the area is Charlottesville, then yes, I can absolutely. But that's why, again, I wanted to share and show you these areas because, it's right here. This is the one. So wrapping up here, we have, again, Albemarle County. Charlottesville is the city within it. We talked about Augusta with Waynesboro and Stanton. And then coming up is actually going to be Rockingham County, which I actually I've done a little bit, but I don't do a lot in the area. I don't do rentals, which is what we see a lot because of the universities there. I've done a couple of house sales, and that's fine. If it's not someplace, I do regular business. How's that? So there you go. Albemarle County, and then all the surrounding areas. The Charlottesville Metropolitan Area. Each area is different. Each area has its own vibe. And again, why I need you to reach out to me so we can see what is best for you. It is not about me. It's going to be totally what is guided by you and your needs. The point is if you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and you are purchasing a home, whether it's a condo, a townhouse, or a standalone home, you want to make sure that you and those you are moving with are most comfortable. I want to be able to help you with that because, again, I've grown up here, and that is what I love to do. I love to take care of my clients. My clients become my friends, and I have had clients as my friends for over 10 years. So again, this is not about selling you anything. Quite honestly, I've had I've had instances where I've talked my clients, actually not talked to them. I told them they weren't going to buy it because they had stars in their eyes. And I was like, no, and here's why we cannot buy this. Here's why you could not buy this. So give me a call, reach out, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, drop me a comment below. I would love to know what questions you have, what places you would like to see, what more information I can give you. That's why I'm doing this. Again, this is all running around in my little brain, so I know it. I just want to see what I can share with you that will best help you when living in Charlottesville.